At last, the time has come to evolve Golbat into Crobat. And yes, I checked beforehand, and it's ready to evolve. And if you're wondering why it's level 23 instead of 22, it's because I accidentally saved after it turning level 23, so I had to take it close to 24, which is what you're seeing right now. And there we go. Golbat is finally going to evolve into Crobat, so there's going to be no more mad scrambling to evolve Pokemon until I inevitably try to get myself a Tyranitar in the post-game. And yes, I know they're available in the Safari Zone. Still, I'm not planning on using it before the post-game starts. So, now that that's done, it's time to head to the Goldenrod Gym. Who am I kidding? This is gonna be easy! I got a level 24 Crobat, a level 28 Gengar. I'm gonna wipe the floor with everything in there. Which is, I know it's a luxury that not everyone has. This gym is home to normal type. You don't say! You use fighting type Pokemon. Well, that's short advice, but if you have any fighting types at this point now, would be a good idea to pull them out to improve your chances. You're a cute little trainer, I like you. Oh, wow! Scar! And it's a beauty on top of that. Hey, girl, want me to show you my Goldenrod? Oh, boo! That was a bad pun. That was chug-a-tear bad, in fact. But seriously, though, as I was about to say, this gym usually gives people a ton of trouble because of that Miltank that he has at the end. Its level was lowered by 1 in Hard Gold and Soul Silver compared to the originals. However, it also now has Scrappy, which allows Stomp to connect against ghosts, and it also has a Lumberry, so if you try putting it to sleep, well, tough luck, it's gonna wake up instantly and kick your ass anyway. So you can see why her levels were a bit lowered, otherwise it would be very, very, very difficult for your average player. And, you know, it's sort of fun how the normal type gyms are always considered to be among the hardest. I mean, obviously there's this one, which is legendary for its difficulty, but there's also Norman Slacking, which is a pain in the ass when you're not prepared for it. Then again, so is pretty much any gym leader ace, but Norman Slacking is in a class of its own because of its exceptionally high stats. Truant or not, it's a pain to deal with, especially if you can't land any super effective hits on the thing. And Lenora's Watchog is also infamous for giving people trouble, especially if it decides to use Retaliate on its first turn. It's also got Hypnosis, just to be a complete pain in the ass. Crunch is also rather strong at that point in the game. And if you have to deal with Herdier's Intimidate at that point of the fight too, that's going to be more trouble than you're bargaining for. But personally, I didn't have any sort of trouble with Lenora's Watchog. I mean, sure, it's a Watchog, but it comes at a point in the game where it's really threatening. We're only talking second gym here. So yeah, normal gyms in general tend to be a pain in the ass. I think we can describe them that way. The reason for that is because the normal type, well, it doesn't have many resistances. In fact, it has none. It has an immunity to ghosts, but that's it. Otherwise, it has a weakness to fighting, and that's it. So if you don't have a fighting type, you're going to have a lot of trouble fighting those guys. Of course, competitively, you simply have to have a fighting type. Usually, there's no must-have type in competitive play, but you got Steel, Dragon, and Fighting that you usually simply have to have on your team. So being a normal type competitively is pretty rough these days. Because, well, normal type isn't very good on offense. Let's say this right now, it's super effective against absolutely nothing, not very effective against Rock and Steel, and Ghost is immune to it. So usually you're going to want to use normal types for their defensive prowess, except they don't have too much of that. Nonetheless, most of the good normal types are defensive, whether it's Chansey or Blissey or Porygon 2, or, well, I'd say Snorlax, but barely anyone uses Snorlax these days. It's pretty much outdone by Porygon 2 in a lot of ways. Porygon 2 is incredibly bulky, perhaps even more so than Snorlax, thanks to the Eviolite. It can use Thunderbolt and Ice Beam for awesome type coverage, and it has something that Snorlax has wanted forever and never had. Instant recovery. How does Snorlax still not have Slack Off in 2011? That is a mystery for the ages. But yeah, normal type, not very good to use in-game, not that good competitively either, but somehow it's a real pain in the ass when you're faced with one in-game. Now, I think that was the last underling in this gym, which, by the way, it's been modified just a little bit from Gold, Silver, Crystal, because now the difference is that you can actually climb the Clefairy-shaped wall that is, well, pretty much the main decoration of this gym. It's not that obvious when you look at it that way, but if you look at an overhead map, both in Gold, Silver, Crystal, and in this game, you'll notice that the walls are shaped like a Clefairy. So, here we go. This is Whitney, reputedly the hardest boss in the game. But I think I'm more than enough prepared to fight that goddamn cow! So we're starting off with a level 17 Clefairy, which has also seen its level being decreased since Gold, Silver, Crystal. It was level 18 back then. And, well, that was a waste of a turn for Clefairy. Sort of a shame that I wasn't able to one-hit KO it. Let's see if I can get another... Oh, well, it was because of a low damage roll that I failed to kill it the first time. Now I'm gonna pull Crobat out of this because I'm gonna want to have all the power I can get for this. Gengar with Thunderbolt. Will it be able? Probably not able to one-hit KO, but at least two-hit KO because it had the Fire Blast Quilava that almost did it in Crystal. It should be more of the same here. Oh, and the red, so close, and Stomp connects because of the Scrappy ability, so don't be surprised. A Super Potion, it's not even enough to heal to full. So, is Thunderbolt going to be able to kill because of that? Nope, still in the red. Shell Bell recovery, which is sort of pointless because, well, I can just fire off a Thunderbolt right now. And that is it. Whitney, ladies and gentlemen, the Scourge of Johto, the hardest boss in the game. And now she's been reduced to, well, you'll see soon enough. Because, like most Johto female gym leaders, she doesn't take defeat very, very gracefully.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
What a crybaby! She won't even give me the badge. So, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to start heading back, and then this last here is going to tell you about her less than impressive habits when losing. I mean, you're a gym leader! Your job is to lose to random people so you can give them badges! So, if you can't even do that well and gracefully, then maybe you should consider a change of career. Anyway, this is the plain badge as well as the Attract TM, which, if I remember, both her Clefairy and her Miltank know. It's even more of a pain in the ass if you're using male Pokemon. And yep, turns out I was right, the Pokémon Dome opens once you beat Whitney, which explains why it was closed when I first tried to get there. So that is going to be our next destination. And that was a good cry. So apparently she doesn't have too much of a problem with being a crybaby. By the way, just a pro tip, don't go into this gym when you first reach Goldenrod. Instead, do what I did and go train a bit north of Goldenrod for a bit. It's going to increase your levels just in case you're struggling with this gym, which a lot of people seem to do. I was busy admiring the powerful trainers here. Yeah, right. That reminds me of, you know, old man pervert in front of the Celadon gym who was censored in this game, and he says, instead of this gym's great, it's full of women, he says that this gym's great, it's full of strong trainers. Well, we sort of got the same thing here. It really sounds clumsy and forced, but I can't help but be amused by it anyway. Anyway, now we're about to make our way to the Pokémon Dome, which is a very good source of certain items in the game, especially evolutionary stones. Cerebi has a page that details the prizes you can get each day. Yeah, they change each day. You can also get a bigger variety of prizes after getting the national deck, such as, for example, well, you know, why not? Why not have my picture taken this time? He didn't have that weird Team Rocket fetish. So, Fuzzy Pickles! Don't know why I'm saying that, given that I don't like Earthbound at all, but this is still sort of amusing for a catchphrase, Fuzzy Pickles. And no, thank you. I just wanted to see if he could take multiple pictures of me, and yeah, he could. So, the words friendship and potential, by the way, are going to come back a lot in this gym. You're going to hear it so much, and oh, we got a phone call, so I'm going to show you a way to cancel out the phone call. You just have to talk to the Pokemon that's behind you, and it's going to cancel the call right away. That's something I wanted to show you, but never really got around to. Anyway, this guy here, his name is Magnus. He basically runs the Pokémon Dome. And yeah, solidarity, trust, potential. You're gonna be sick of these words once I'm gonna leave this place. And no, I'm not even going to show you each discipline. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that can do that, so just look up Pokémon on YouTube if you want to see what the Pokémon actually is, because if I start covering it, there won't be any end to that, and besides, I'd feel dirty doing it with Pokemon that haven't been trained, you know, with Juice in order to actually be good at those disciplines. And good lord, the word potential again. It appears that Thesauruses, Thesauri, whatever, they're in short supply in Johto. And yeah, get a thinly veiled threat from that Poliwrath. I'm gonna kick your ass at the Pokémon! Too bad, as I said, I'm not going to be doing any in this particular playthrough unless I want to do something off-screen that requires it, but so far I have nothing planned when it comes to that. And as usual, there's a variety of trainers that are just outside the building, like in the Battle Frontiers, for example. And this is the Juice stand, which is where you first get the Blender if you want to make your own Blender. But you can also buy Juice in that stand as well. It's pre-made Juice with predetermined stats. But if you really want to be good at the Pokémon, I suggest you make your own Juice, which goes without saying, because usually the easy way out is rarely the most effective one. And yeah, as I said, you can put up to 5 apricorns inside the blender, then walk 100 steps, throw back to the Versus Seeker, maybe, and your Juice is going to be ready. You can get the 3 servings of the Juice that you prepare once that's done. And I think I'm going to cut this off here because I'm still bound by the time limit for some stupid reason. So, I guess I'm going to continue this next time.